talking AGP, anti-gravity project. I respect, staying true to the tech. We got the evil address and the pink Miss Will. Got the dark matter token going up, I can tell. Hey, I can tell this is the start of something fresh. Shout out Hex Revision and Donna Hex, yes. I confess, Hexicans don't stress, cause as a community we want nothing. So tell me, are you in, or tell me, are you out? Do you want to win, or do you chase the clout? What is this really about? The treasury and lottery. If you meant dark tokens, you can get a part of it. So how does it work? Let me explain. First you buy the dark token, now you're in the game. Then you mint the dark and get a fuel cell. That's an NFT, one that earns yield. As long as you have it, it feels like magic. But if you vaporize the NFT, that's tragic. So most think crypto is a game. Are you here for the fame, or here to make a name? See, Hexicans reign, we create our own lane. I thought I told you, we the new financial gain. AGProject.io was the flow. And if you know what I know, then you know what I know. That's just how it go. Something like to support the team, the dream. Public service announcement, t.me/anti-gravity saga is the telegram. Tap in. It's for y'all. I'm talking AGP, anti-gravity project. I respect, staying true to the tech. We got the evil address and the pink Miss Will. Got the dark matter token going up, I can tell.
Hey kids, this is Pulse Ray Vision coming to you live from Cuatro Cinco Studios in my mom's basement. Let me say that again. It just feels good to say I'm in Cuatro Cinco Studios in my mom's basement. And we got a special guest here with us today, Mr. Not Uno, not Dos, but Triplet Dad in the house. And I like your hat, sir. I like your hat a lot.
Goes good with the shirt. Goes good with a shirt, my friend.
Yeah.
Talking racing today, yeah?
I was going to get some goggles on, but my goggles are still packed away from the last weekend that we spent out in the desert. And I didn't have enough time in between those songs to run out to the garage and grab them. So imagine that I have some big old racing goggles on right now, like Triplet Dad.
You got to have the goggles, bud, and a racing shirt.
Yeah, I'm going to put the link to join. We usually have a third person, Matt War, who shows up in here and loves to talk F1. And he's a little busy today, so he wasn't able to make it. But I did get his bets from him to present to Triplet Dad and see what he wants to do with that. I still have yet to send my $50 of dark to Pulse Chain Store. So I have completely slacked. I've been waiting for guys to show up at my house, break my legs, make threats. But I will be sending the $50. In fact, I'm going to write that down right now on my notebook of things to do. I'm going to say $50 of dark, which is actually quite a bit now that the price has fallen through the floor. So $50 of dark.
You could have done it last week, bud.
I know. Pulse Chain Store. And I've seen a lot of people like that Amish kid and other people rocking T-shirts and showing that. I believe they got a shout out from Richard Hart. Is that correct?
Yeah, they did.
Wow, they're good for them. Way to hustle.
Yeah,
Way to
awesome, right?
hustle. We got another person here in the green room, but I don't see a camera yet. I'll pull him up if I can see a camera and a thumbs up. But he's a friend of the channel and stuff. And what a great week to talk about F1. Do you know why? Because there's not shit going on in crypto. Let's talk about F1 racing. And I think I like the title. What the F1 here? Oh, just a second. I got Don trying to call me because he doesn't watch my my streams at all. He has no idea that I'm streaming right now. Let me text him and see if he wants to jump on too. Oh my goodness.
Ask him if he has any goggles.
If he has any goggles?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I will. Let me go back down here. Here we go. I'll send the link. Yeah, maybe Don will be able to jump on here too. Let me send that to him right now. Boom. Mhm. And like I said, I put the StreamYard link in the chat here. I'll probably also put the StreamYard link here in Twitter. I was trying to get Twitter to work, but now it's working. So I can retweet this as well. So quote live right now. Let's talk about Red Bull domination. That's what all the new kids are looking at. Now, here's another interesting thing that's new. I believe last night the F1 movie released in theaters. Is that correct?
That is correct. My wife and I are going to see it Monday. She already bought tickets.
Okay. Well, if I see it before then, I promise not to do any spoilers. How's that sound?
Yeah, and we have to worry about that with this race too, because this is always depending on what time you and I wake up, since we're West Side, right?
Uh-huh.
Results are always floating around before we wake up. So when the race days and everything's in Europe, I put away my phone. I turn on. I don't go on my computer or anything. I watch the race before.
Oh, because you don't want to wake up to
results.
Results and not and spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, there were some practices going on right now. They're in Austria, correct?
The Red Bull track, right?
The Red Bull track in Austria. And
Crypto Cat, what up, buddy?
Hey, how's it going? Internet's a little unstable, so we'll see how long it lasts.
Mm-hmm.
This whole stream is about unstable, bud. So
now, what is it? You have Starlink, is that correct?
I am running Starlink currently, and yeah, I hopefully I paid my bill for it.
Madam's Ashuka. I am
Madam
allergic.
Shuka.
I am allergic to snow. So these are dirt bike goggles, not ski goggles.
Not ski goggles.
Yeah.
We have Pookie Doo in the house. Pookie Doo saying what's up. Those that don't know about Richard Hart soon will. Hopefully for good reasons. Right? Like there's a lot of people that know about Richard Hart for bad reasons. We would rather have people know about him for giant green candles. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, that could be taken. That could be taken one of two ways, right? That comment.
Yeah, I love giant green candles. But no, I mean, like we were looking at. Looks like we lost Crypto Cat. Crypto Cat also says good afternoon in here. Here's a StreamYard link there. We've also put it in. I should put it in our Telegram group right now. Anti-Gravity Saga here. And I'll just say we are live right now. I've had about 40 or 50 people joining the Telegram group every day, but the number doesn't go up on the group. Does that make sense? So I don't know if they're joining and leaving or if these are bots. I don't know what they are. Once in a while, they're mostly people just going in, and I think they're too lazy to do the CAPTCHA. But those that are not too lazy to do the CAPTCHA shill some garbage coins on there. And so, or they go on there pretending to be me or the team and saying, hey, DM us your address and do this. We're going to launch the second token and all this stuff. And I'm like, that's not us. That do not pay no attention to that man behind the curtain.
I had a group ask me if I wanted to do some work with them for my ink printer token, which is not mine.
Yeah, I've been hit up for several tokens that are not mine where they're like, let's get you on an AMA. It's like I would love to join your AMA of this token, but it's not mine. And your AMA is not real. All you have to do to get into these AMAs is pay them $100 reward that someone randomly gets in the audience. Now, granted, they are all the bots in the audience. So basically, you're doing a fake AMA and you're handing someone $100 of crypto or $150 of crypto. You got to give it to them.
Yeah.
It's pretty. It's like that's the creative. Dude, Starlink rugby. That's crazy. My buddy just got the new Starlink, which is like the size of a little tablet.
Yeah.
And it worked like a charm. I think it works better than our old Starlink. We've had Starlink for a couple of years, and we have ours on pause because we didn't have to use it in the desert just recently. But when we take it off pause, I've streamed a couple times. The problem is we try to stream from Burning Man where everyone has Starlink, and so it's kind of like where everyone's on the same cell phone plan inside of a stadium. Trying to get their phone to work with 30,000 other people trying to get their phone to work.
I know where you are, right? Is the internet good in that area?
Yeah, it's pretty good. We pay for fiber. It's not that expensive. It's like $65 a month, and
That's so awesome.
it's always done really well. The problem I have is my VPN. I have NordVPN, and somewhere between NordVPN and Windows Firewall, it's constantly blocking me from my own internet. Like it's protecting me from the internet.
Nice.
So I have to turn off my VPN to do anything, which kind of defeats the purpose of a VPN.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyways, that's where we're at. Anyways, we wanted to go live. There's another really cool stream coming down this evening. SJ is hosting the F and Hangout on Discourse Syndicate. So for you guys looking for that, I think that's at 6 or 7. Oh, look at this! What a good woman. Should I go with the blue or the yellow?
Blue.
Well, the yellow would mean that I'm supporting McLaren, right?
Are you doing that? Because that's
It's kind of well, I pulled up the F1 site, and the F1's headline today says, "Is McLaren the team to beat in Austria?" So they must have had a pretty good practice schedule. Blue it's kind of Mercedes is kind of a green, right?
Yeah, it is kind of a green.
Yeah, CryptoCat says blue. I'll go with blue. It's some kind of I can't think of a
that is kind of a more McLaren color. It's not.
Well, it matches the hat too. It matches the
It
Pulse,
does match
the Hex hat.
Yeah,
These are dirty as hell. I can't see anything.
buddy. These lenses magnet on. These are kind of really cool goggles.
Oh,
And
so you can like pop them on and off?
yeah, and underneath these lenses are my
Mhm.
glasses. That's how much room is in there.
Love it. I love that. I love that. Yeah. So, I mean, if I shared my screen and I could probably play their Austria video that they're doing right now. But either way, that's neither here nor there. Let's go back to the previous bets. I lost a bet because I took the under, saying that back in, I thought that in Canada, Lewis Hamilton would not make it in the top 7. You gave us an over under with Lewis Hamilton. I took under and I lost. Over and I lost. Matt War, who couldn't make it today, he took under, so he won that one. So he's waiting for 5 million dragons, which equals $50 of crypto right now.
Nice.
Or this is what he said. He said he'll do double or nothing, same 7.
Oh, double or nothing.
Double or nothing, same 7. If you lose, you owe him 10 million dragons, or roughly $100 worth of dragons, whatever the price is. Or you owe him nothing if you win.
That's awesome.
So you'll have to think about that one.
So he's willing to do the same bet with me over or under with freaking Lewis Hamilton.
Mm-hmm. That's one that you want to make that bet again. Everyone's talking about Lewis Hamilton and saying he still has some championships left in him.
I don't know about that, sir.
Well, I think that he has the ability to perform at a very high level, but I think that the competition in F1 racing has gone up dramatically since his heyday. Like he was definitely the top when he was just kicking ass and taking names, but there's these young guns, these 12-year-old kids like Piastri and Antonelli that are just showing up, and they're a different breed. They're a different breed of driver, it seems.
I think that the relationship isn't there with Ferrari. I think that the people that plan his race, that help him with strategy, are
Mhm.
jackasses, absolute morons, right?
Because he drove, for those that don't know. I mean, I don't know how many people know anything about F1 that are watching this, and those that are like your wife. If your wife were to watch this, she'd be like, "These guys are complete idiots."
Yeah,
But if someone's new to F1, we would just let you know that Lewis Hamilton drove for Mercedes and won a shit ton of championships, and he had a complete legacy. I'm sure he'll be in the Hall of Fame
oh
going
yeah,
forward. But he, out of the blue, jumped from Mercedes to Ferrari, and then Mercedes went and picked up, I believe, a 9-year-old. I believe
yeah.
Kimi Antonelli. Well, I know he was like 5 when they started making the documentary on Netflix. If you guys watch, I think it's In the Driver's Seat or something, In the Seat, and it is a 2-hour documentary about Kimi Antonelli being like a 2-year-old hanging out with Toto. Is it Toto Wolff?
Yeah, I think that's called the seat. I just watched that with the wife.
Yeah, that one. It was, but you could tell they had a professional filming crew follow
Yeah,
this kid around since diapers.
and before he was with Mercedes, he was with McLaren,
Hmm.
Lewis Hamilton, right? So
Yep.
it's kind of going full circle with him. I'm not sure why. I don't know if he's trying to freaking follow in the footsteps, right? And be a badass like Mike Schumacher, right?
Hmm.
Because he was same thing. He did Ferrari also, right? I just don't think that the Ferrari program is what it used to be.
Right. It's definitely had like some problems.
And to tell you the truth, the teams that don't have the it thing right this year could be just mailing it in because there's no use developing this car further because everything changes next year. A whole new
Mhm.
bunch of teams are coming in, all new cars, right? So there's really any development done on this car this year has no freaking bearing whatsoever on the car next year. So I don't know. I think as we get further along in this season, uh, you'll see that even more so.
Yeah. Yeah, I did text Don. Don was asking, he said, if I were to come in and rile up people in F1, which would be the team for me to root for? Who's the most hated and despised? And I told him for
George Russell,
George Russell for sure. I don't like George Russell at all.
he's a
George,
whiny puke.
okay, George George Russell wears too much makeup to make up.
Yeah,
When he gets it, he already has too much makeup on before they start putting makeup on him for the camera.
that's ridiculous.
He's far too pretty to be like a manly man that you want to root for.
It should not be an F1 driver.
Yeah.
You know, I heard a crazy stat um, yesterday, and it may have been on my TikTok, or not my TikTok, my Instagram, because I don't have TikTok.
Mhm.
Um, what's his name? Has been in. God dang, the freaking name escapes me right now. Has been in more races. Has been in 34% of all races ever.
It's not Hulkenberg, is it?
No, no, no. The other guy on Aston Martin, not Stroll.
Um, this is
I
where
don't
we
know.
need Matt War or Lindsay to be like, spit it out, Junior. Like they'll know
Yeah,
who it is. They're screaming it at their phone right now.
yeah. I don't know why his name just worked because I'm old, probably. It's,
Yeah. Hex Monkey says, LOL, looking good, gentlemen. You two don't say anything half-assed. That's why I love you. Cigar with goggles for the win.
there you
And then
go.
Crypto Cat says, I was in a fantasy league, a NASCAR fantasy league a few times. Tin Top's in the house. What's up, Hexkin? What's up, Tin Top? Smo Spider's in the house with a happy green face. And then Pookie Doo says, Fernando Alonso.
Fernando Alonso. That's
Okay,
it.
so Pookie
Fernando Alonso has been in,
he's here for the racing.
Fernando Alonso has been in 30 over 30. I want to say it was 34% of all races ever run in F1 since its inception.
Yeah, Fernando Alonso. He's from Mexico, correct?
Fernando Alonso might be from Spain.
Spain or there. I know that Carlos Sainz?
Sainz is from Spain.
Sainz is from Spain. I thought that Fernando Alonso was from Mexico because like there's just he has
Spain.
an incredible following, like an incredible community that are fans of Fernando.
Yeah, he's definitely Spanish. I got his wiki up.
Okay, I got.
The only one that was
I gotta try to fix my goggles. I can't see shit.
The only one that was from Mexico was what's his name from freaking Red Bull that was fired. Checo.
Okay. Yeah, and that's one of the fun things that I've noticed with F1 racing is that when you have a home crowd, whether it's someone from Australia, someone from Japan, someone from Spain or Italy, wherever they're from, people will come out and support the hell out of that. It's almost like the Olympics of F1. You know, F1's kind of like the Olympics of racing because even if people don't like the brand or the team that someone's on, if that dude is from their country, they will show up. Oh, wow. I can see so much better now. That was definitely worth it. Just it's all about maintaining your goggles, folks.
Fernando Alonso's first race was the Austrian Grand Prix in 2001.
2001?
He's been racing Formula One for 25 years.
Isn't Fernando Alonso the one that like got struck by lightning or got in a crash and then he mentally turned into a 22-year-old again? Is that the one we're talking about? Like he did an entire career, had some crazy crash, and like it hit the reset button on his brain or something, and he started driving like a 20-year-old again. Is this the same one that I believe?
I don't know that story, buddy.
Huh?
I don't know that story.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Fernando Alonso because he is the dude that he's had 36 years in F1.
25 years.
25 years. Okay, so people usually peak for like 4 years in F1, right?
You can have a string of 8 to 10 years like Schumacher or Hamilton, right? But eventually, either your skills go down or your car goes away, right?
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, like, the cars evolve so quickly that, like, the whole beginning of this year, McLaren's cars outclassed everyone else. So McLaren was just walking away. Piastri was doing some great racing, nothing to take away from Piastri, but Verstappen, he was pitching up a storm. And can we talk about that crash at the end of the last race? The crash, I think it was there was like 5 laps left, or maybe it was like the last lap, where Lando Norris bumps into. Oh my gosh, why am I blanking on his teammate's name?
Piastri.
Piastri.
Yeah.
He takes out Piastri at the very end.
In Canada. Yeah, that was bonkers. What an idiot.
And then the funny thing was, if you go to F1, because people in F1, they're worse than baseball people. Like baseball people will tell you about some weird stat in 1957 in some minor league game that like matters now to the World Series. They pull up video from 14 years ago of the same thing happening with 2 people, the same team in Canada 14 years ago. where the one guy slams into the other, and they're like, "This is the Matrix is broken, folks." Like there's a
Who
glitch
was
in
that?
the
Was
Matrix.
that two McLarens? Was that Hamilton and who was that?
Well, it's 14 years ago. I know that Matt War would tell us right off the top of his head because he was like, "Well, that would have been so and so
Yeah,
this year." We'll we'll figure it out. Smoke Spider says, "Holy goggles, thank you." The last car race I saw in person was years ago in Vegas when the Hex car came in dead last. It was epic. And then Pookie Doo says, "I'm here for the Pulse win, baby. Wait until the Pulse Chain community sponsors F1. Oh, that would be insane. That would be insane in the membrane. My grandma was a NASCAR fan. You think sponsorship in the cards for Pulse Chain or Hex lulz, and then it was Lewis Hamilton and Alonso.
yeah.
Lewis Hamilton and Alonso crashed from the same team, and then we had that one. In fact, I bet you I can pull it up here.
Yeah, there you go. McLaren Hamilton was a rookie at McLaren. Yeah, that was ridiculous. So that's kind of it is the same thing visually, right? But he's the senior member on that team that caused that crash, which is kind of funky. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a ton of stuff about the F1 movie right now on the F1 page too, where it says Brad Pitt drives McLaren's 2023 F1 car at COTA. What's COTA? COTA.
Circuit of the Americas.
Sorry?
Circuit of the Americas.
Circuit of the Americas.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Brad Pitt, what car did they say he drove?
They say he drove McLaren's 2023.
That's such horse shit. That is not even possible. If you've ever watched more than F1, I'm a fan of cars in general, right? And you watch what's his name on Top Gear, the little guy, right?
The little one that crashed the electric car.
Yeah. And you watch him freaking hop in the Renault car.
Yeah.
And he could barely drive it. He's a race car driver. I don't even think Brad Pitt could fit in an F1 car.
No, he couldn't fit in an F1 car. Here's the thing: they have Tech Talk, which is that's ours. I don't know why they stole Tech Talk from us. That was something that we ran with years ago.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like we should probably contact some lawyers.
Yeah.
When it comes to Tech
100%.
Talk. But yeah, our McLaren, the team to beat in Australia, highlights. Watch as Norris sets the pace, and so he must have set the pace in practice. Here,
He's got some redemption to do, bud.
he
right?
really does. After
Looked like an absolute jackass amateur last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. And then, of course, Chuck Leclerc, as I like to call him.
2 moments since the second session got underway.
Yeah, let me know if there's echo in here. I'm going to try to do this, and I'll mute my mic.
Pits. And teammate Lewis Hamilton was caught off guard by a flying Andrea Kimi Antonelli.
Hey, what is going on with these people, honestly?
I could see Antonelli all. So.
Lando Norris returns to the hot seat, having given up his car to Alex Dunn in FP1. The Briton, currently 22 points behind teammate Oscar Piastri in the title fight, lost further ground after hitting the back of the Australian in Canada. Despite missing the first session of the weekend, Norris was the man to beat, clocking a 1:04.580, nearly 0.2 of a second faster than his teammate. The championship leader has won 5 of the 10 races so far this season and has strong form in Austria, winning here in Formula 3 and claiming an impressive P2 last season. The Australian running a car without the updates placed on Norris's car this weekend. But the king of the ring is Red Bull's Max Verstappen. The Dutchman having won here a record 5 times. He also claimed pole position here last year before clashing with Norris in the race. Verstappen ending FP2, a strong P3, albeit over 0.3 of a second off Norris's fastest time. Racing Bull's Liam Lawson returns to the Red Bull ring for the first time as an F1 driver. The Kiwi was 15th fastest in FP1 and hoped for a strong second session, but issues from the off slowed his progress.
Something's not right. My steering is pulling me massively to the right.
Understood.
If I let go of the steering, it goes hard right.
It looks like a binding brake, actually. Right front brake looks to be binding. As you saw him coming into the corner, the right front completely locked up, but with no load going into it.
Williams' last pole position came here back in 2014 when Felipe Massa led teammate Valtteri Bottas from the start. An impressive FP1 saw both cars well within the top 10. But the second session saw Alex Albon sliding his way through turn 3 before setting the 16th fastest time of the session with teammate Carlos Sainz just behind. The best of the rest in FP2 was Aston Martin's Lance Stroll. The Canadian, who hasn't scored points since the Miami sprint, will hope this is a turning point of his season. Stroll putting his green machine 4th fastest by session's end. Another green car flying in Austria was that of Gabriel Bortoleto. The Brazilian, who is yet to score a point this season, put his Sauber into the top 10 for the second session in a row. P6 in FP1 and 8th in FP2 gives the Hinwell-based outfit hope for the weekend ahead. Another battling for midfield honours were Alpine, but a tricky end to FP2 saw Gasly off the road at turn 1.
There's something broken on the car. It's disastrous. Turn 1, turn 6, all over the place.
Okay, understood.
So Norris leads the way in FP2, nearly 2/10 clear of Piastri. Then comes Verstappen, Stroll, Leclerc, and George Russell. Rounding out the top 10 were Yuki Tsunoda, Bortoleto, Alonso, and Hamilton. Next comes Antonelli, Lawson, Hadjar, Gasly, and Esteban Ocon, as Albon, Sainz, Behrman, Hulkenberg, and Franco Colapinto round out the finishes.
Interesting.
Okay, this is something that for some reason I thought that Max Verstappen was German. It's a very German sounding name.
Yeah.
So I thought he was just a huge asshole.
Yeah.
Now that I know that he's Dutch, I still think he's an asshole. I just think he's half as much of an asshole as I thought he was before I found out he was Dutch.
You know what's his name? What Austin Powers' dad's name says, right? There's only 2 things I hate: racism and the Dutch.
Dutch. Good times. May Max and Lando collide again. No kidding. That's funny. Thank you, Mo Farhan. Pitt did drive the 2023 McLaren car, got it up to 197 miles per hour. He was upset he didn't hit 200.
It would have to be a completely gutted car with a completely different seat and completely different brakes in an F1 car, because you have to be so on those cars to get those brakes up to temperature so they even stop.
Yeah. Okay, so Hamilton was a rookie at McLaren when that happened, it looks like, with Hamilton and Alonso. Here's a question I have is, will Haas and Williams ever place this season? Are they going to get lucky? Are they going to eke their way up into points?
I think Saints could podium. Especially, let's say we get towards the end of the season and constructor points and people are starting to mail it in, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Saints could podium for sure. Okay. I like Saints.
Yeah, I like Carlos Sainz a lot. I do. I thought that back in the day when we were watching Daniel Ricciardo, he kind of like moved back. He was trying to get back into the driver's seat, and I think he was like basically a commenter and kind of a team like cheerleader for a while.
Yeah.
But he never made it back into the seats, which I was kind of glad, because I have always felt like Daniel Ricciardo screwed himself, like made some really poor decisions jumping some of the seats.
He could be in that McLaren seat right now.
Yeah, if he had just not left.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I got to give him one of these. Key.
What is that?
That's the freaking Danny Ricciardo noise.
Oh, key.
Yeah.
Good to know. Okay, so thank you very much for retweeting here. We've got a couple people, a bunch of these really good comments are coming in from your restream. So nice. Thank you so much for restreaming. Appreciate the love of restreaming.
And Smo Spider, I saw your NASCAR comment. I used to love NASCAR, right? So fun to watch. But ever since they switched to these different stages and stage winners and stuff like that, and just instead of letting the race just go and everybody races until green flag drops, checkered flag drops, and have freaking blah 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 is the first stage winner. I freaking hate that so much. I hate it. I hate that as much as sprint races in F1. It's stupid. I have a little bit of opinion on racing.
Yeah. Should we check out the F1 movie trailer? My friend Matt War, who again is busy with life stuff today, he has this fear, this paranoia that Americans are going to go watch the F1 movie with Brad Pitt, which, by the way, Brad Pitt, who has a six-pack abs in his 60s, screw that guy. First of all, screw anyone who gets six-pack abs. And especially when you carry him into your he's got to be 60, right?
Yeah, he's definitely, yeah. I think he is.
Yeah, he's like on the poster. They make sure you can see his six pack through his racing shirt, and I was like, screw that guy. Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing, Brad?
Yeah, we don't need none of that, Brad.
We get it, dude. You
Yeah.
won. You won.
Yeah.
You have no competition. But he
The
has
race
a
suit
fear. He has a fear that all these Americans that are not into F1 are going to go watch the movie and get enthralled, and they're all going to show up, and they're all going to be Red Bull Racing fanboys. That's his fear, is that F1 is going to be flooded with Red Bull fanboys that don't appreciate and know the history and the heritage of F1. And to me, I'm thinking, I don't think F1 gives a crap if thousands of more people show up and spend money on merch and tickets.
No, they're going full tilt, right? They're the way that they are marketing this. They're taking advantage of the series on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
And they're just leaning into it. Everywhere you look now, there's some kind of F1 documentary, and now the movie. So it's only going to get bigger, I think.
Yeah, don't watch F1 Academy, guys. I mean, unless you just like looking at young, pretty girls, do not watch F1 Academy. It is not up to par with the other F1 series and documentaries. We'll just say, dude, I have no idea what F1 means. Lols. It stands for Formula One, right?
Yes.
Formula One. Nobody's going to watch the movie, says Pookie Doo. Well, I don't know. Let's here. I'm gonna pull it up here. Let's watch the trailer, just to get underneath YouTube's skin here. Let's pull this up and watch the trailer here. Yeah, there we go. Wait, it said main trailer. Hang on. One's 2 minutes and 25 seconds. One's 2:29. We'll go with the 4 extra seconds. How's that sound?
That sounds better.
Some people look at Sonny Hayes. They see a guy who lives in a van, a gambling junkie who missed his shot, the best that never was. But I see possibility.
And if you don't love me now, we'll never.
My Rook is a phenomenal talent, but he's young.
Never break the chain.
You plus him, boom! I got a team.
I can still.
When was the last time you won a race? Sunday, Daytona? Oh, I'm sorry. I meant Formula One. Oh, I'm sorry. Then same as you.
There's this new guy. He's old. He's such a prick. He's quick though.
If you had any constructive criticism for each other, what would it be?
Don't be such an ass dickhead.
That was constructive.
Wow. Did you win something? There's 20 other drivers still out on that track. Do you think any of them respect us?
They're saying Sonny Hayes isn't a has-been. He's a never was.
If the last thing I do is drive that car, I will take that life, man. 1,000 times.
I'm offering you an open seat in Formula One. The only place you could say, if you win, you are the absolute best in the world.
Never break the jet.
Yeah, I would say Brad Pitt still has it. Like, I think Brad Pitt can still carry the weight of a movie on his shoulders pretty well.
Very true. We shall see. Yeah,
Sorry,
we shall see.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see. It's difficult because I keep thinking that him driving a car is a ruse to distract people while him and George Clooney go and rob a casino. I'm still expecting him at some point in this movie to rob a casino. Is that just me?
Well, there's also cards, and he's a degenerate gambler, and he
Joseph in a
he
casino.
was hiding cards in his suit. So it is going shades of Ocean's 11 for sure.
Yeah, either that or expect him to show up in a farm in Montana and break some hearts. You know, one of the two. He's built a couple of very distinct brands and lanes in movies.
So Simone just came back from the theater and just saw it.
Yeah, I've just come back from the theater, F1. He really did drive that car as much as I hate to admit it. Oh,
We're gonna block you soon if you keep saying that, Pookie.
interesting movie. Reminds me of the movie Moneyball. Bahaha. Yeah, actually, he carried Moneyball. If you took Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill out of Moneyball, it would have been a horrible movie. Like, that movie would have just sucked if you didn't like invest or go along by the story of Brad Pitt and Jonah Hill.
Car probably had a John Deere riding lawnmower engine in it.
Yeah.
So
My name was a big deal that day. Wait, I raced. Hold on. I've got to get back here. Okay, so here we go. It says I raced back in the day those little race cars in sidetrack, and I won. Flipped a wheelie, and the scanner got me as a winner, just by luck only. My name was a big deal that day. Congratulations. So she's tasted glory. Smo Spider has tasted the glory of victory.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
The movie was very predictable. Also was a mash of Ford versus Ferrari and Rush. Yeah, but I don't think anyone's going to see F1 to see a surprise ending, right? Like, they're not wanting to be M. Night Shyamalama ding donged.
Yeah,
And like, he was dead the whole time he was driving the car. I don't know.
Like, Ford versus Ferrari also was a very big patriotic movie, right? It's freaking the United States versus Ferrari, and people being arrogant and wanting to win. So there's backstory there also. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same as that hockey movie, right? Where we beat Russia or Canada or I don't know.
Miracle on Ice. Yeah.
Yeah, Miracle on Ice kind of thing, where it's like USA.
Yeah, gringoism. Jingoism.
By the way, I have not paid attention to anything this last week. I haven't paid attention to crypto, have not paid attention to World War III starting, have not paid attention to Donald Trump's tweets. I don't even know what happened to Elon Musk this last week. I don't know what's going on. Instead of the Mighty Ducks, they said the Mighty Dicks. The Mighty Dicks. That's funny. So yeah, I mean, there's so much insanity going on right now. All I know is that Ethereum is still laying down in the gutter drinking alcohol. That's all I know. That's all I care about. Is ETH needs to wake up, shake off its little dust, and do its little run. And I mean, it would help. I mean, we're still waiting to see if what Bitcoin does, because Bitcoin's kind of in a holding pattern too right now.
Well, in the last week, it went back into the 90s and then went back up to 107.
Yeah, yeah. And I according to these charts that I have up, the 111,000 on May 22nd, which that's kind of interesting numerology right there. You know, 111 on 422. That looks like it's that I believe is the all-time high of Bitcoin. And then it looks like it just kind of like took a nap and drank some milk and watched Matlock and like did some old folks stuff to see if it's gonna take another run or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the ETH is going to go up pretty quick here, just like Pookie.
I believe that ETH is being manipulated and held down so that certain big players can get in at certain prices
Into the ETF,
before they let it go. Well, then they already have the ETF, don't they?
Yeah, but I think they want to keep the entry price low so they can get some participants, yeah?
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Simon Raj says, would you be shocked if I told you that Sunny won? Now you're talking about
He's talking about the movie. He's trying to do spoilers, bro.
Okay, I thought he was talking about the race this weekend in Austria, on Red Bull's Austria. ETH is about to get up and run around the block like Frank the Tank. Who's Frank the Tank? I don't know who Frank the Tank is, but I like the idea of it running around the block. How many X did Trump mention Bitcoin today? How many times? I don't know. Yeah, what the F is happening? What the F1? That's what's going on, Bright Light. Good to see you here, buddy. And
yeah,
of course,
if you have
he comes
goggles,
in on-
Bright Light, you can come on this show, but you have to have goggles.
put some goggles on. Click the link. The link is in the description. The link's on there. And I would say also, Bright Light came in on your link, not mine.
What are you going to do? Well, I retweeted mine, so maybe mine was easier
Yeah.
to find.
Frank the Tank sounds good, though. It sure does. Two of my favorite DGens. What a pair. What's up, Moon Nut? Good to
What's
see
up,
you.
Moon Nut?
We're just here to make irresponsible statements about something that people care a lot about, which is F1 racing. We're here to come and make very uneducated guesses, very, very opinionated ideas with no backup, no source, nothing, no actual, details.
I'm not sure exactly what my over-under bet was. Was it 6.5?
It was 6.5.
Okay. So that means that he has to finish top 6 for me to lose $50.
Mm-hmm. So that's the bet that you want to. Are you going to take the bet of same 7 double or nothing?
Same 7 double or nothing. So I think Verstappen wins this.
Okay.
This is his track. Yeah.
Okay.
Same 7.
Dude, Deer Slayer's in the house. What's up, guys? What's up, Deer Slayer?
So two Mercedes, 2 Ferraris, and 2 McLarens, and a Red Bull.
And Max.
In any order.
It could be the other Red Bull, but let's be real. It's going to be Max.
Yeah, Yuki's not going to finish top 7.
Is Yuki the one that was always making fart jokes?
Yeah.
On Drive to Survive.
He's a goofball, man.
I love that. Oh my god!
I would hang out with Yuki. I would hang out with Danny Ricciardo, Fernando Alonso, but I don't know about some of the other drivers. Some of the other drivers.
I don't even know what bet I want to make this because there's definitely room to pass there. Yuki won't have a job next year, most likely. is what Pookie Doo
Do you
says.
think Yuki will go to Audi or Cadillac?
Oh, wait a minute, because next year one of the teams is changing its name and a new team is joining. Yes.
Yeah, isn't Alpine changing to Audi?
Yeah.
One of
Alpine's changing to Audi, and then Cadillac is new, because right now there's 10 or 11 teams.
There is 10 teams.
Okay, there's 10 teams this year. There will be 11 teams next year.
Yeah.
Which, do they have to change anything in the paddock or garage or systems, or how does that matter?
You would think that they have one extra slot in a paddock, yeah?
Yeah, Pookie Doo says, I bet on Pulsex. So Pookie Doo is betting that. Are you betting that Yuki won't have a job at all, or you're just betting that Yuki will not be on Red Bull? Because those are two completely different bets. I think Cadillac will go with 2 veteran drivers. Audi already has Hulkenberg.
Yeah, they do have Hulkenberg.
I like Hulkenberg's personality. I don't think he should be driving F1.
Wikipedia says they have both drivers' seats filled. They have Hulkenberg and Bordatello.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's see what they have for Cadillac.
Well, and whose contract's up this year?
Isn't it weird also that Cadillac is using a Ferrari motor?
I don't know. Like when I think of Cadillac, I think of Escalades and I think of really nice grandma cars.
So
right?
Cadillac has always tried to take that image and put it away, right?
Mm-hmm.
So many years ago they had the V series that was built on the Corvette frame, right? Corvette chassis, and they're doing that again. So the new Cadillac coming out is built on a C8 chassis. And it's going to be a little bit more luxurious, but just as fast as a C8 Corvette. I like the sounds of that.
Okay. Now it says Hulkenberg is a good driver that never had a good car.
That's true. And Hulkenberg, I would throw that guy in there with Danny Ricciardo, Yuki, and Fernando Alonso. I would hang out with Hulkenberg. He's funny as hell.
Yes.
Have you ever watched his videos when he's doing his bike rides here in the States?
Mm-mm.
Oh, God, dude. He's funny. He's a funny dude.
I'll have to check that out. Now, if you guys haven't seen Drive to Survive on Netflix, we went and watched the 7th season of it. So we watched the 7th season. We were hooked. We enjoyed the 7th season. And then we realized, oh, no, we missed the previous 6 seasons of Drive to Survive, right? And Jamie, my wife, was like, oh, well, we already know how it ends. And I'm like, no, I don't think it's like that. I think this is like a football season, like where you get a different narrative every season. And half of the narrative is which driver is going to go with which team, or which team is going to get rid of what driver. That's like half the drama in F1 is, those contracts when they come up, right? So I went back and started watching season 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then she joined me and she was like, oh, this is way different, because then you get like the backstory to it's almost like watching the origin story.
Right.
Some of this stuff. It doesn't go back as far as F1 people would like. F1 people would love for it to go back 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
Because they're wrapped up in all those narratives and stories there. Pookie Doo says, I think it's going to be Sergio Perez and Valtteri Bottas.
That's the most horrific thing I've seen in this whole chat, if that's true.
Listen, Pookie Doo, if you have sources, you need to click that StreamYard link and jump on here, because I don't have any sources. And I don't think that Triplet Dad has sources outside of his wife Lindsay, because Yeah, Lindsay
I
goes
don't
deep.
think that's possible. What he just said. I think he's just going through the available drivers and trying to find the best ones.
Oh, listen to this: Verstappen to Mercedes, George to Red Bull. I didn't, man. If George went to Red Bull, I would lose all respect for Red Bull.
There is no way on God's green earth that George Russell could drive Verstappen's car. Might happen, but that would be not good for Red Bull. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That would be. So I guess I'll take that bet. 6.5. Same 7. I don't know.
Yeah, George Russell really screwed me by qualifying 5th.
Yeah, same 7. Could somebody else creep into the top 7 at Red Bull Raceway?
So say that. So are you first of all, are you taking the same 7 double or nothing bet?
I don't. For one, I don't want to do a double or nothing. I want you to send 50 things to freaking those guys because I already said you would, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if I win this week, I'll send another 50 to them. And if you win, you can do whatever you want.
So do you just want to pay the $50 of Dragon Believer to Matt War from last week?
I didn't lose, so I was even with Matt.
Well, no, you took the over under, right?
I took the over under, but he also took I bet you both for same 7.
Right. So like I was saying, I bet the under. I mean, so over, and I lost the over with George Russell.
Yeah, and I bet him. So I won the same 7 bet with Matt, and I lost the over under.
Yeah. So you're saying those two cancel each other out?
Correct.
Right there. Okay, so those cancel each other out, and now instead of owing $50 of dark, I owe $100 of dark to Pulse Chain.
But I already said you could only do you only had to do $50 with a dark.
Well, that's very kind of you, sir.
Yeah.
Very kind.
Yeah.
I'm not
a stickler.
Pogidoo says if Verstappen voids his contract, I think that's a possibility. And you're right, that's not good for Red Bull.
Yeah, that's horrific. Could you imagine freaking Red Bull having to deal with George Russell's whining all the time? That would be the worst thing ever.
No, I don't think that Red Bull has enough fluffy pillows for the princess that is George Russell to travel in.
It's just not good.
I love the fact that I'm talking smack on someone who probably makes about like $50 million a year and will never in a trillion years know who I am.
That's what we do, right? We're plebs.
That's what plebs do. Plebs gonna pleb.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. Okay, so that you don't want to take the double or nothing, but you do want to do another over or under, or you don't?
Yeah, I want to do an over under, and I'm gonna take. So Matt is doing. He thinks that Hamilton will finish 6 or better, and I think Hamilton will finish 7th or worse. So I will take that bet.
So you're taking the same 7 bet, just even money, $50 again.
I'm not sure about. I'm for sure doing over under. I don't know about the same 7. I think same 7 could be same 7 this week.
So you don't want to take the same 7 bet. Excuse me.
Do you want to bet winner? Or
No.
would you bet Max Verstappen also?
I've got to take a very easy bet this time because I didn't realize every time I parlay, I don't realize I'm parlaying.
Yeah, you're parlaying. It gives me an easy out, right? I'm kind of an idiot not to take the same 7 bet. I have a 1 in 7 chance of any of those guys wrecking. and a 1 in freaking 13 chance of those guys having a good day, right? So I have a very good odds of being same 7. I'm just thinking this track is kind of conducive to same 7. Let's take a look at the stats for this track.
Okay, you want me to pull up the F1?
Yeah, let's see who won last year.
Okay. Let's check this out. See, I'm thinking that I want to do something to the effect of betting against people like Williams and let's see here. Driver standings, F season or archive right here, right?
Yeah, archive.
Okay, cool. Who's Nino Farina? Oh, that's 1950s results. Yeah. Okay, that explains why I don't know who these guys are. Let's see. Great Britain race results, qualifying starting grid. Holy cow. Where do I go here? Drivers, teams, awards. Let's get out of 19. Let's go. Is last year you said? So
yeah.
Here's 2024. And here's the races. And so this is, where's Austria? Right here. Here's Austria. George Russell from Mercedes won last year. Jeez. Okay, so it was Russell. Look, Piastri was second last year. And I think last year was Piastri's second year.
Look at that, though. From 2018, Verstappen, Bottas, Verstappen, Leclerc, Verstappen, Russell. So Verstappen has won that race 4 times out of the last 7.
This one in Austria.
Yeah.
So wait, so I need to look at race results, right?
Yeah, look at race results.
And just do race results. Well, this is race results though, but this is just last year.
Yeah. What was the whole top 7?
Oh, last year?
Yeah.
So last year was Russell, Piastri, Carlos Sainz was 3rd, Hamilton, Verstappen, Hulkenberg got 6th last year here.
Hulkenberg.
In a Haas. That's actually damn. That is, I think I watched that episode of Drive to Survive where he actually placed. And then you have Sergio Perez, Kevin Magnussen in Haas. How the hell did Haas get 2 top 10s? And then Daniel Ricciardo, that's the last time that he was in a seat. They put him in for Red Bull Racing, right?
Yeah, RBS. Yeah.
RB Honda. And then Pierre Gasly got in 10th running for Alpine. But Pierre's not running for Alpine now.
So if I take the same set, I kind of so you want to bet the same 7, or you want to bet you're taking the same 7 and I'm not taking it?
No, I want to bet. I want an easy bet. I want to bet against Williams and Haas placing in the top 10. If anyone from Williams or Haas places in the top 10, then I lose. That's my simple, straight bet if anyone wants to take that one. Because I feel like that one, I have a really good chance of winning. But then again, I might be the lucky rabbit's foot that pushes one of those bastards up into the top 10.
So Williams or Haas?
Yeah, Williams or Haas, neither of them finishing in the top 10.
So somebody, one of them gets a point.
Yeah, if anyone from Haas or Williams gets a point, gets a point, then I lose.
I'll take that bet, but only for $20.
$20. I take $20 bet that neither Haas or Williams place in the top 10.
All right, deal.
Well, now hold on. Sorry, we're doing qualifying, right?
I
was thinking about the race, but we haven't done a
qualifying last time.
What's that?
We didn't get to do qualifying last time.
No, we didn't get to do the race last time. So we did qualifying, but we didn't restream before the race or get any official bets out on Twitter or Telegram. So basically, yeah, I guess this would be for qualifying, which I
Who,
still
who,
don't
who
think,
do you
I
think's
still
going
don't
to be
think
number one
Roy
qualifier?
Williams are going to qualify in the top 10.
How about you and I pick a driver,
Okay.
and then if he gets number one qualifier, if my driver gets number one qualifier, you pay me $20. If your driver gets number one qualifier, I'll give you $20. If neither of them get number one, bet goes on to next week until somebody wins.
Okay, so we're picking a driver, and there are we doing qualifying or the race?
Qualifying.
Okay, so we're trying to figure out who's going to get pole position first. Out of I'll pick a driver, you pick a driver.
Yep, and I'll let you go first.
I mean, shoot. Okay. So like, look at Lando Norris. He was 20th last year. Lando Norris has been doing really good in qualifying. Piastri's been doing really good in qualifying this year. Where do I see all the qualifying for this year? Qualifying all. So all the qualifying right here, it's Verstappen, Sands, Verstappen, Norris, Verstappen, Leclerc, Verstappen. Like, wow. Oh, these are sorry. These are race results from 2024. So let's go to 2025, and then we're gonna go not races. We're gonna do all. Let me refresh this. So 2025 race results. I want to see the qualifying here. Racers.
What's up, Hex T Armstrong?
Hex T in the house. What's up, Hex T? Okay, well, these are just the race results. So Piastri is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of
he's
these
doing very well.
9. Or are we on race 9 or 10? Let's see here. 1, 2, 3.
He's becoming the Alex.
This is
Miller
11. So we've had
of
10 races this season, and Piastri's won half of them. That's incredible. George Russell, I believe, kind of got lucky last week in Canada. I don't know.
He always has one of those things where it's just like, oh my God, this guy drove today.
Yeah, I mean, like, if I were to pick a driver, I would probably pick Verstappen.
All right.
Because he didn't have a great car in the first few races, and now he's going to get this car under him. So you're picking Piastri, I'm picking Verstappen, and it's whoever gets pole position first this year.
Yep.
And it's $20 a week until someone gets pole position.
Yeah. If Norris gets pole position, our bet continues to the following week.
You realize that you just forced me into rooting for Verstappen.
Max Verstappen.
Jamie's gonna think this is freaking hilarious because Jamie loves Max. Like I said, Max is an asshole, but he's Dutch now, so I kind of have a little bit of, understanding about that. But now I'm pulling for Max to get pole position before Piastri. But dude, Piastri is where the hell is pole position here? Drivers, teams, no awards. How did we get this last time? I was able to pull up the races or the qualifying.
Let's
somehow.
see. Freaking
I think it's because 2024 lets you choose.
2020.
No, that's not it. Races, all the races, drivers, teams. One of these, I don't know. I lost my little drop down for qualifying and races. So that's the bet now between us is who gets pole position first between Verstappen and Piastri. But you can look at Piastri coming here at the second half of last year. Look at 1, 2. Well, there's a couple of them here.
So I've got it. It's not in a big list though. So round 1 was Lando. 2 was Piastri. 3 was Verstappen. 4 was Piastri. 5 was Verstappen. 6 was Verstappen. 7 Piastri. 8 Lando. 9 Piastri, 10 Russell. So you got a big mix here, bud. It's not guaranteed either of us is going to win this.
Wait. And that's pole position or that's winners?
Pole positions.
Oh, okay. But they're fairly close to the...
An even cut, I think, between Piastri and Verstappen. Maybe one of them has an additional. And then Lando and Russell are in the mix.
Dude, Lewis Hamilton won Great Britain and Belgium last year.
A British guy should win Silverstone all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that should be a Norris or Hamilton race.
That makes sense.
That's their home track, yeah.
Okay, ahoy mates, headed to Montana in the morning. Here's some weird link for Twitch. Freedom. Nice. Okay, so that's it. So do you have a counter bet for Matt War's same 7?
I don't want to do same. I think the same 7. I would be on the other side of that this week.
Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna invite Matt War to pick a driver besides R2.
Oh yeah,
for pole position and join us in that gaggle.
He's going to be mad because we picked the best 2.
Well, yeah, of course we did. But then again, you know what? Honestly, I think Max doesn't get pole position that often. He does win more than he gets pole position.
He won. He's got half of the pole positions, and Piastri's got the other half, bro.
Mm-hmm.
With I think 2 Norris and one Russell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got a few people he could choose from there. He can take Chuck Leclerc.
Oh yeah, the Leclerc.
Chuck Leclerc. Charles the Clerk.
I think you might get $20 this week.
I might. I don't know. Pole position is funny because it all comes down to the last 30 seconds of the last qualifying round. Like they still have a practice round in the morning tomorrow,
but
right?
This is Red Bull's track. This is where they test and all that stuff.
True. Okay, I'm feeling better about my bet now.
Yeah.
So I'm going to write down $20. Max V pole position before Piastri. Boom. Okay, it is. Well, I mean, it's on stream too.
Yeah,
which helps. But
yeah, we got it here all the time.
Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious! Well,
and I'm restreaming it from my channel, so I get to keep it in case you delete it. So to delete all evidence, I got a copy.
Yeah, you've got it restreamed.
Yeah.
I may sneak down to Southwest Utah. That would be good. Let us know. The pole position is a two-edged sword. Sandbagging gives you a sneak advantage. I am only an admin here, says Smo Spiders.
Yep.
Good times. Not to ruin a good thing, but I have not streamed in a couple days. So let me just quickly, if any of you guys are involved in the Anti-Gravity Project or Dark Matter, which is our PRC20 token, I was going to show you guys, we did update the website. So now you don't have to go to the tools beta page. You can just go to the main page right here, and you have minting, view your fuel cells, lottery, treasury, evil address, and vaporize. They're all on the same website. So agproject.io has everything you could ever want. The minting for Journey 6 isn't for 12 days, 17 hours, but the next lottery is going down in 1 day and 1 hour. So I believe this is going to be Sunday afternoon. Is that right? No, or tomorrow afternoon. It's Saturday afternoon, right?
Yeah, Saturday, yeah.
So tomorrow afternoon at around 6 p.m. my time, Mountain Time, we're going to watch this lottery pay out. And at the same time, the other thing you guys can do is if you go to Twitter communities collective, we have started. Well, the Journey 6 art contest is live. It's been live for a while, but it's been very, very quiet to say the least in our ecosystem. We've been eating a lot of red candles lately, taking a lot of red candles to the face, if you will. And so a lot of people have just moved on and are touching grass and dealing with life because like, well, I guess I don't have to sell anything very soon. Oh, and then also I did notice somebody put a nice fat order of Homie Don't Play That tokens on 0x Bistro, I think at a $30 discount. I could be wrong. But yeah, $10 to $30 depending on which token. If you guys have not been to 0x Bistro, this is the best place right here. Yeah, there's $800 of Homie Don't Play That tokens here that were in the money, and depending on which token you buy them in, you get a better deal. You know, I think that Die's looking pretty good right here. If you were to buy all of them and go to Die, yeah, so you can get $819 of Homie Don't Play That for $800 right now.
Nice.
You're in the mood. So that's for sale. SD3 Yep token. There's some crazy out of the monies for Yep token top up and that. Don't sleep on this because as soon as the market bounces, there will be some arbitrage opportunities here at 0x Bistro.
100%.
So yeah, so check that out. If you guys are not part of that, enter the art contest because you can win some dark and some reward points there. And again, just if you guys have any bets that you guys want to take, hit us up on Twitter, tag us in Twitter and on Telegram, and we might take some of those bets in our favorite coins. The great thing is that you can require someone to pay you in your token of choice. So
Right.
I know Triplet Dad's a big fan of MCR369. I'm a big fan of Dark Matter token, and Matt War is a big fan of Dragon Believer token.
Yeah.
And we'll let you guys guess why those are our favorite tokens.
I invited Fast to come on here, but he doesn't know anything about F1. But he would have been a big fan of 2Fucks tokens, yeah.
Exactly.
So it all makes sense.
Excuse me. Will the winners of the J6 art contest be rewarded before J5 art contest finalists? Yes, most likely. You know what? Someone had blown up my Telegram. They were a finalist, and I paid them last night. And I'm slowly getting around to stuff. I've had a lot of life show up in the last couple of weeks, especially as my bags have melted before my eyes.
Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot of like what's it called, triage going on, just trying to keep things together. So I appreciate your guys' patience and stuff. And the good news is like I said, a lot of people are out touching grass and taking a crypto break for mental health reasons. I mean, like I said, the thing that I regret, the thing that I've said most over the last 3 years is it can't go any lower. It can't go. We're talking about Hex, PulseX, Dark Matter. I'm like, it can't go any lower. I say to myself, and then it does, and that's happened for about 3 years now.
Yeah. What are you gonna do?
Yes, touch grass, Hex sees dabbing, and Smo Spider, a very knowing nod like that very much. Yeah, so we will be paying people out. We will be doing that. And like I said, check out the new website. It's awesome that everything's right there. I believe they've updated the, if they haven't yet, then right now they're working on updating the leaderboard. So you can look at your leaderboard, like your rank in the collective, and you can see your rewards, your real life rewards that you've earned. So we're making that more accessible, and you can go look at all of your NFTs and see what they're worth, what their cash value is worth. You might not want to check that today, but you can check your cash value if you broke open your piggy bank and dumped the dark on the market, right? And you can also see what league you're in. So there's a league for the NFTs and there's a rank for the reward points. So there's actually 2 games going on within the whole game. And then we've got the I haven't checked the Pink Miss Well game in a while, but Pink Miss Well Game is on, I think, round 26 or so. Yeah, it says, I am touching my mattress, lols. And Sandy Beach is in the house. Good to see you, Sandy Beach. Hey, TD Maxx and everyone. I saw my first F1 race with Triplet Dad and Ty last summer.
That's true. We watched it.
Yeah.
We were in Laguna Beach.
Weekend lottery stream, so exciting. Yes, we'll break out the astronaut costume. We'll be ready to do a countdown tomorrow. That'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully, if I don't get home until after it goes on, I'll still stream about it and throw on that. But we'll see. I've got a birthday party I've got to go to tomorrow morning. Friend of a friend. So we'll get back as soon as we can. We will definitely see the lottery results because, yeah, I can't go into that. But there's some interesting stuff happening behind the scenes with the
Cool. That's awesome.
But thank you so much for coming and talking F1. I mean, it's always fun to branch out. I really respect what you and RG3 are doing with the Burnham All.
Yep, that's fun, right?
Yeah,
Cigars and crypto and chit chat, F1 and crypto and chit chat. It's fun, yeah.
Yeah, it's fun to expand our echo chamber, get out of our own little groups, and bring more people into the community and show them that, you know, we're over here trying to make crypto fun again. And despite the flock of black swans that have smashed into our aircraft carrier, we're still here. We're still hanging out on the boat. We're still having a party.
It's like throwing spit wads at a battleship. Ain't gonna do a thing.
Right.
We'll be here.
Yes. I'm glad you guys got a chance to talk to me. We are too. This is nice.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I should actually go on to I got to go on to YouTube here, pull up another YouTube, and give this guy a wrench. Pookie Doo, you definitely are part of the wrenched army now.
Oh yeah.
So reach down in your pocket and you will see a nice, shiny, brand new wrench. Pookie Doo. Let's see, is there anyone else in here that's new? Pookie Doo he's the only unwrenched dude in here that I can see. I think even, Sandy's got her wrench, or I think she's on your link. There we go. Only the real ones left. I'm kidding. Good stream, guys. Thanks. Thank you for joining us. And thanks for joining me, Triplet Dad. Hopefully we can probably do a stream tomorrow. Even if you're not available, I'll be reporting on the pole position bet.
Yeah.
And on the lottery results. And we'll just keep coming back with more and more content, things to talk about, more unqualified opinions, if you will.
Perfect.
To make your day go by a little bit faster. And thank you so much for coming here. As I say at the end of all of my streams, don't forget you matter. What you do matters, and the fact that you exist and that you're hearing my voice means that you are a very valuable, unique, and precious creation. So don't forget that, guys. You guys are very, very cool, very, very worthy of love. DJ Pollywood showing up at the last second. What's up, DJ Pollywood?
What's up, Pollywood?
See you, buddy. Good to see you. So anyways, yeah, join the replay gang. Hit us up. Throw some art together. Get on the AI and throw some art together for the J6 fuel cell contest. We had an amazing music video from AJ Rip City. Cuts win. I just woke up.
Throw some goggles on and join us on our F1 streams.
Yeah, and throw on some goggles and join us because we plan on doing this. I think we got back-to-back races next week.
Yep, we go through Europe, and I think so. We have this, then maybe Silverstone. Yeah, we're going through Europe right now. This is like a more than a 2 race stint. I think this is like 3 or 4 races in a row.
Well, they have like 34 races a year, right?
Yeah, 30. Is it 34?
It's some insane number.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like I remember thinking, wait, there's only 52 weekends in the year, and it was
the off season isn't long. You're right there.
Yeah, I think if I pull up F1 race, if I just pull up 24 and 4 results, they don't have them numbered here, but it looks like there's close to 30. Just eyeballing it.
My wife would know.
Yeah, your wife would know without she'd be able to shout out the number before I finish the question.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I'm gonna play us out with a music video from AJ Rip City Cuts and a lot of art from Red Squirrel, who won the J2 Fuel Art Contest. So we'll be playing out on that one. This one's called Dark Matter. And it's got a bunch of characters from the book. More about that on another stream. We'll go over that. And thank you so much for being here. We love you guys.
Yeah.
Ciao.
Thank you.
Cole Nova is here. He's the leader of Alpha, leading the charge. Yeah. With his main man Heavy, hit up right by, hit his side at the raid. Together they fight and drive their corner. Rich and Valor fighting for good. They refuse to back down in this war for justice. They wear the crown. Cole Nova and Heavy Hitter, they rise from the dust. Fighting for their cause, they never back down. With Big Boy Leroy, his feet firmly underground. In the face of danger, they fight through it all. Champions of hope, they rise to the top. Through shadows of doubt, they light up the way. With power and purpose, they seize every day. Their enemy tremble in the dark. Cole Nova and Heavy Hitter are heroes embark in the big Gatsby that's covered by night. They bring the fire and ammunition to ignite. For it's Alpha they serve, their honor was true. Cole Nova and Heavy Hitter, they rise from the dust. Fighting for the cause, they never back down.